what a lot of the bigger players were starting to do with me was starting to rough me up behind play because they realized I was a good player, but I was very timid. So they knew that if they give me a little bit of a punch from behind, then I'd probably be a little bit more hesitant going into the next, stoppage. So I started getting kind of scared, and I wanted to learn how to protect myself and be more confident. And it wasn't just in sport; it was in real life as well. There was a lot of situations where I was like, I wish I knew how to fight because I would feel a lot better about being in this. I just felt very vulnerable. So I got into martial arts, and I started at a school, and the guy was Robert Parmakovsky, and it was more of a self-defense sort of style. And then maybe a couple sessions in, we did a ground session. And I remember looking at this kid, and he was like a skinny little dude. And I was just like, I'm going to bust this kid up so good. And I started in his half guard, and he swept me and submitted me and choked me. And I was just like, what is going on here? Like,
your mind is blown.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I missing? I'm very fit right now. I'm very strong. But this kid that's like weighs half as much as me and looks like he should be doing accounting for someone is just destroying me. So
Accounting for somebody.
like a real Johnny pencil pusher. And I was just like, man, I need to learn how to do this. So I started specializing more in that. I found a school closer to home because that one was really far away because I was working as a truck driver.
You grew up in Melbourne?
In Melbourne, yeah. And I was truck driving. So I lived in the Yarra Valley, and I would drive to Heidelberg, which is about an hour and 45-minute drive to work. Then I would do like truck driving all day, and then I would drive back. So where we were doing MMA,
how old were you when you started training jiu-jitsu?
I was 22 when I first started training.
Nice.
Yeah. That was the first time I started training there. And then I found a school closer to where I lived, about 30 minutes away from where I lived, and I started training there. It was a very small school run by a brown belt. And I trained there for a good year.
Was it who was the Peter DeBean?
That was after that.
That was after that.
So that was before that. He was technically under John Donahue, who was Machado, yeah. And then I kind of outgrew that because that was a very small school and it was just like, for hobbyists, and I wanted to do more competing. So I found Peter DeBean's in the city, and I just looked it up and I saw that there's black belts to train here. There's multiple black belts to train here. My coach wasn't even a black belt before then. He was a brown belt. So I went over there and I started.
What year was that?
That was 2009 now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. So I'm wrong. It was still 2008, end of 2008. So I did jiu-jitsu. 2008 February was the first time I did jiu-jitsu. I got my blue belt in 10 months. So once I got my blue belt, I went and trained under Peter DeBean. So that would have been the end of that year. And then I trained there till brown belt. And then I had a similar situation where it was probably just a point of difference in what Peter wanted coaching and the way I sort of trained. I was kind of a little bit of a black sheep there at the end. And it just didn't really go with the way Peter liked to teach in the end. So we thought it was both better for me to go somewhere else. And Yuri Simoes was coming into Australia.
Okay.
And a friend of mine contacted me and said, look, this guy's coming here and he's really good. And so I got him in contact with another gym owner and then I went under him. So I trained with him for, I think, 9 months. And then he left to America, and then I got my black belt after that. So that was 4 years in total from white to black, and I was competing still. I competed at Blue Belt World Championships at the Abu Dhabi Pro. I won that. I won the Purple Belt World Championships at the Abu Dhabi Pro. Then I went to Brazil. I won the Brazilian Nationals, and a lot of really tough fights.